Hey, picture this. A penthouse office on the 60th floor of Apex Innovations, downtown Chicago, all glass and steel, the kind of place where the city looks like it's bowing at your feet. That's where I first met Marcus Tate, the guy who owned it all sharp suit, sharper ego, the kind of CEO who'd flash a $50,000 watch just to remind you he's untouchable. Me? I'm Lena Carter, just a kid from Englewood, 13 years old, tagging along with my mom, Diane, who'd been cleaning Marcus's floors for a decade, invisible as the dust she swept away. But that day, something shifted like the air before a storm hits. It started with Marcus smirking, leaning back in his leather chair, tossing a jab at my mom. 10 years scrubbing my office, Diane, and what's your degree? High school, right? Barely. His laugh was cold, like coins clinking in a vault. And then he turned to me, eyes narrowing. And you little girl, what's your big dream? This ain't the place for kids like you to get ideas above your station. The words stung, not just for me, but for Mom, who'd spent years swallowing insults to keep us fed. I felt my fists clench, but I didn't snap back, not yet. Instead, I said, calm as I could, I speak 8 languages, Mr. Tate. Fluently. His laugh got louder, harsher, like he'd heard the punchline of the century. 8 languages? A kid from the South Side? Prove it, sweetheart. He pulled out this old, crumbling book, some rare manuscript he'd snagged at an auction, bragging about how it stumped the best scholars in the city. Pages filled with scripts nobody could crack. Ancient Greek, Persian, Mandarin, Coptic, you name it. Go on, genius, he said, tossing it on the desk like a dare. Read it. Mom's eyes flicked to me, nervous, but I just nodded, took a breath, and opened the book. I started with Greek, the words rolling out like a song I'd known forever, then Persian, smooth and flowing, then Mandarin, sharp and precise. Marcus's smirk faded, his jaw going slack like he'd been slapped by the truth. I didn't just read, he translated. The text was about power, real power, not the kind you buy with money, but the kind you earn by lifting others up. True wealth, I said, looking right at him, is seeing the worth in every person, not just your bank account. The room went quiet, the hum of the AC sounding louder than his ego ever could. Mom stood taller, her hands steady on her cleaning cart, pride in her eyes for the first time in years. Marcus tried to laugh it off, but it came out weak. Public schools teaching you to talk back like that? He muttered, but I wasn't done. You mocked us, but you couldn't read a word of this either. So who's the one pretending to be something they're not? His face flushed, and for a second, I thought he'd fire Mom on the spot. Instead, he said, all right, kid, you're bold. What's it going to take to make this right? I didn't hesitate. 3 things. First, apologize to my mom, say her full name, Diane Carter, and mean it. Second, use your money for good fun scholarships for kids like me, support free language classes at the library, give your workers real career paths. Third, you learn something new. Come to the Chicago Public Library, Thursday nights. I'll teach you Arabic. No private tutors, just a folding chair and a notebook, like everyone else. He stared at me, then at Mom, and something broke in him. Diane Carter, he said, voice low. I'm sorry for treating you like you didn't matter. I was wrong. Mom nodded, not forgiving yet, just acknowledging. Marcus agreed to the rest, and that's when the real work began. He showed up at the library, clumsy with Arabic vowels, sitting next to cab drivers and waitresses who taught him more than just words. They taught him humility. Back at Apex, he launched 200 scholarships for working-class kids, no strings attached, and hired Mom to lead a program turning janitors into operations managers. We set rules, say people's names right, listen without interrupting, act to make things better. Not everyone liked it. Some employees grumbled. One even scrawled "Stay in your place" on a scholarship poster. But we didn't erase it too, framed it, kept the stain, a reminder that change isn't clean or easy. A year later, the library was packed, not just with students, but with stories. Kids like Jamal, who built drones from junkyard parts, now interning at a tech firm. Maria, who taught Spanish to single moms while her own kid learned beside her. Marcus? He wasn't the same guy anymore. He gave up his corner office for a round table, hung photos of library classes on the walls, and funded a foundation in my name, not for clout, but because he finally got it. One night, as we practiced Arabic verbs under the library's flickering lights, he looked at me and said, Lena, I thought power was about winning. You taught me it's about learning. I just smiled. Keep practicing your ein, Mr. Tate. You're getting there. Now, imagine you're me, standing up to someone who holds all the cards, knowing one wrong word could cost your family everything. Could you do it? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever faced down a bully like Marcus, or seen someone rise above prejudice? Share your story. Let's talk about what courage really looks like. And if this hit you, give it a like, share it with a friend, and subscribe. I've got more stories where this came from.